Where's Tigers fans? How the heck are we? You should be absolutely thrilled because we have a massive positive video today about Jahream Bula. We have got some update and some development around his contract talks. Shane Richardson has come out and said a few words, and we're going to be breaking down this massive article that is super positive, super confident, and super in favor of Bula staying. So make sure you stick around to the end to find out all of it and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you see Jahream Bula staying? Do you see him going? I really want to know. And if you do see him going, who fills his gap? Is it Jacketard? Is it someone else? Either way, huge video to get through. Smash that like and subscribe button. Let's get into it. So the West Tigers have open talks with Jahream Bula, which we know or knew of last week, as Isaac Moses told us that he was meeting with the club last week. He has been on a long-term extension talk for a while now, and it's sounding like he might be taking up a multi-million-dollar deal, which we'll break down a little bit more. Bula remains the highest profile fullback available to sign for 2027, with a mutual clause in his current Tigers contract effectively making him a free agent. We know that his deal ends in 2026, at the end of 2026, and we have an option in our favor to extend it to a further year at close to $900,000. And so we know that price tag is going to be a huge thing for this, and the reason why I say it is one, Bula is an absolutely insanely talented young man who is one of the best fullbacks to come through any NRL system, but I don't feel like he's hit his potential or his ceiling yet, and I just don't know if $900,000 is the right price tag for him. I believe it should be raw around that $750K mark at most for right now. That's not saying down the road he's going to be a multi-million dollar contract player, because I truly believe he is, and I truly believe he's capable of all that and more, but right now where he stands and where the club stands, I think we still have a little bit to go. He also has an option in his own favor to extend the deal into 2027 on a salary of around $800,000, which again is a little more than I think we should or want to be spending. But the big controversy really is around his manager, Isaac Moses. We know that Lockie Galvin was part of that, and that was very controversial and drama-filled, and we just really don't want another thing like that, right? But Shane Richardson has come out and said something really interesting. Essentially, what could happen is both of those clauses would be effectively redundant if a longer deal was struck, which Shane Richardson hints at here in a minute. And we could see something completely different from Bula / his management in these coming weeks, which I'm really intrigued to see what happens here. But Shane says, I don't want to do a pickup of the option. I want to do an extension long term. And so that's huge coming from the CEO. That means, like, man, we really believe in this kid. We believe in what he's doing, his capability. And then he goes on to saying this. He wants to be here. Unlike Galvin, freaking shots fired, Richo. Love you, brother. Who didn't want to be here. He wants to be here, and that is key for our club. Benji has come out and said that. Richo now has said that. Players have said that. Like, we want people that are bought into this club. You never count your chickens until they hatch, but I'm pretty confident we will get it done. So Tigers fans, right there, we could stop it, but we're not. We're going to go even deeper. There's more to unpack here. That there is a pretty good indicator that Jahream Bula is seriously looking to stay, like, and the fact that he says he loves it here, he doesn't want to go anywhere. Now Richo's saying he wants to be here. We're looking at a long-term deal. If we were unsure, we would have just signed him whatever for $900,000 for the 2027 season, but the fact that we're looking at an extension long-term is huge, because that really means we want to build a club around this guy. We don't turn this into a franchise for him. We want him to be part of the story. And we know with Luai, in the recent weeks, there's been a lot of drama, but he's going to be, we're all remaining confident, and so is Richard, that he's going to be our playmaker for the next 5 years on his deal. Plus, we just signed his brother, so why wouldn't he want to stay? And so we are locked in virtually then until the end of 2028. This is around Luai. We have a team together with maybe 1 or 2 changes to it. And so those changes, I don't know what they could be. It could be, if Luai's locked in, if Jahream Bula's locked in, it could be a number 9. It could be a Happy Coruscant, man. It could be a center with Starfatoa. It could be a forward with someone like Siani if we don't lock him in as well. But we are locked in against Papua New Guinea's 2028 entry, secured against the Bears' 2027 arrival, and we are in good demographic and age of the players. Jahream wants to stay. You don't rush these things because you have to do a deal, and you want to talk to the players and make sure that he is comfortable and wants to be here. If a player doesn't want to be here, we won't have him here, and I've made those decisions before, but Jahream wants to be here. That is so assertive. That is so promising, Tigers fans. That's something that we should be uproaring about right now. How are you feeling hearing that news? And it's a final statement that we are committed and embedded in the area, and it goes on to talk about the Campbelltown experience and Leichhardt and kind of urban footy at its best and at its kind of dream that it's going to be. So here are some breakdown points that I think we took away from this article and some thoughts that I think we should be cooking on and stewing on and marinating on going forward about this whole thing, about the future of the Tigers. Obviously, the article reports that we are in talks with Jahream Bula to get a long-term contract. We're not talking 26, 27 deal. We're talking 20, 28, 2029, 2030 crazy deals. Like these big deals that could be multi-million dollar deals because he's staying longer. He's been around the franchise, the club a little more. That could be a huge thing for us, but also a huge thing for him. We know that Bula's current contract finishes at the end of 26, but there are a couple option clauses. One in favor of the club, we extend to 2027 at 900,000. One in favor of Bula, 2027 extension around 800,000. And neither of those, I think, are what we're going to get at. But Shane Richardson said that they don't want to pick up any of the 2027 options. They want a longer multi-year extension. He emphasized Bula wants to be here. And that is a phrase that we heard multiple times in that interview. And so there has been some scrutiny over Bula's future. We all know that, partly because he recently changed management to Isaac Moses, blah, blah, blah. We don't like him. Not even worth putting oxygen around that name, which we also know is the same agency involved with the controversial man who shall remain nameless. Richardson also noted that the club recently met with Jarome Luai's management, signaling the Tigers are trying to lock in their spine. We're talking key playmaking positions, guys, for the coming years. This is kind of where the heartbeat of the team is. If we can lock in a 5'8", a halfback, a hooker, even a number one, these are the guys that we will be, playing our game around and really, building a franchise around, building a brand, building an identity around. And so this is super exciting that this is even in negotiations and even in talk. So if both Bula and Luai stay long term, which we know Luai most certainly is, Richardson suggested that the team would be virtually locked in to the end of 2028. That's enough time to get our ducks in a row elsewhere. Giving the Tigers a stable core with possibly only one or two changes, that does worry me a little bit, but I feel like it could be Api Korosai, could be what he's hinting at there, just with Perth Bears coming. We did lock him down for a little longer, but at the same time, retirement age is coming up for him. He's looking strong, he's looking fit, but we do need a little change in our nine when that time does come. So what does this all suggest? Why does it matter? I think there are a few different points here. Number one being stability and spine continuity. Bula staying long-term gives the Tigers continuity in our key position, that is our fullback. That matters a lot when building competitiveness, especially after years of instability, and we all know how that has gone. Locking in both Bula and Luai, I think, for multiple seasons is going to suggest that the Tigers are pushing extremely hard to build our consistent spine. Fullback, halves, hooker, all the things like I've told you already. That stability often translates to better team cohesion, on-field execution, and I think long-term planning when it comes to games, when it comes to merch, when it comes to club identity, all of that, which is huge. So confidence from the club, this one's a big one. The fact that we are actively negotiating for a multi-year extension, which would equate to multi-million dollars, rather than just passively picking up an option, shows, I think, commitment. That is keyword, commitment. The fact that Richo is saying, no, we want this kid for longer. We see so much value and so much worth in him. It sees him more as the core piece, a core player, a gold standard, if you will, rather than just a rental to get through 2027 and a $900,000 check or $800,000 check for him. It demonstrates that trust in Bula's desire to remain at the club. And Richardson even contrasted him with Galvin, who wanted out, by the way, saying Bula wants to be here. That's a big vote of confidence. And if your CEO saying that and he wants to be here, we know that there's going to be a great deal on both ends made here. So bigger picture, guys, rebuilding culture, community roots, all of that. The mention of the new Campbelltown office in there and more home games there from 2029 highlights a push for infrastructure, community engagement, junior development. So retaining players players like Bula, Luai, and these guys here is only going to help with that long-term vision, help with the stability, help with the continuity of that. So for fans, I think this is a massive hint and a more stable and ambitious Tigers club than we've ever seen moving forward. Not just patching up roster year to year, but building real foundations, real teams that we can look at and be proud of, kind of like 2005, and real time to actually come through and deliver and give results. And, you know, that brotherhood, that chemistry that when you're moving players in and out, you don't get. And so having some stability is going to be massive from a game standpoint, but also massive for a culture standpoint. So a few last points, guys. Thanks for staying with me this far. While the spine is locked in, expectations will rise. I think both inside the club and among the fans, there will be pressure for results, finals, better consistency, maybe even a whole finals run to a grand final, which honestly, we're not far off. I'd say in the next 2-3 years, we will be in a grand final. For Bula especially, staying long-term raises the question of whether he can evolve from a standout individual into a leader, a consistent performer, and handle the extra spotlight. And I've honestly got no doubts in the bloke, especially around that leadership piece. So, as we wrap it up, here's what we are watching next. Whether Bula signs the extension, I truly believe that there is a really good chance that he will. How many years, what salary, that all is unknown right now, but this is still showing commitment, both from Richo and the fact that Bula is saying he wants to be here. That is showing massive commitment, and I don't see a world where he doesn't sign. How the Tigers' spine comes together, if Luai also stays, which most probably will, and how they manage the number 6 playmaking positions, stability in the spine will be key, and adding Bula into that is only going to help. Infrastructure, junior development moves, especially with the Campbelltown office and expanded home game schedule there, that could reshape the Tigers' identity and recruitment over the next 3 to 5 years. We'll be seeing massive influx of great players wanting to be here, which we're already seeing and we're already getting at as well. And so on-field results, because having stability is one thing, converting that into wins and improvement is another. If Bula and Luai stay and the results don't improve, then questions will come fast. But honestly, with the spine, with a team like this, there won't be questions. We will come out guns blazing. We will get wins. We will show the NRL and the people of the media that, hey, there's a culture shift here. This isn't just about winning. This is about culture. This is about rebuilding. This is about family and about community. And at the end of the day, it's so much more than footy. It's all about those things I just mentioned. And I think the West Tigers are doing a bloody good job at that. So Tigers fans, if you're as pumped as I am, let me know in the comments below, what do you end up seeing panning out for Bula? This has been a massive video, so thanks for all the real ones sticking around to the end. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. It helps me in the algorithm out a ton. And I will see you tomorrow in the next video because we have to break down 2 new signings that we just got that went under the radar.